What's up, everybody? Welcome into the BYU Hawaii Productions studio. Jake McCleary, Mick Miller. Happy Friday Eve and Super Bowl week. Jake, it's become more of a ritual for us to make apologies before we get into buzzer beater, and unfortunately, I have to make an apology to my guy Sullivan. Didn't make an announcement about chicken tacos last week, Sullivan. I'm sorry I let you down, but hopefully we'll make up for it in this show. Jake, let's get right into it with women's basketball. The Seasiders are 8-9 currently on the road. They're going to play Dixie State tonight at Dixie State, 5-6 in conference play. They're currently 9th in the Pac-West standing. What is going on with BYU Hawaii? We know obviously it's been a year that's been a little bit disappointing. The men and the women have struggled a little bit, but the Seasiders do still have a chance to jump into the top 6 teams in the conference.
Yeah, we've just seen the past couple of games how the women's team, have struggled really on offense. At the beginning of the year, the girl we'd always talk about was Safiya Shaikh.
Yeah.
In the first part of the year, she was averaging nearly 20 points a game, but the last 6 games, she's only averaged about 11. Mm-hmm. So we've seen the offense kind of on the decline. A couple players have stepped up, like Terrence Cahill. She's increased her scoring average, but some of the main scorers like Baldwin and both the Shaikh twins, their scoring has gone down, so just kind of being in a little slump on offense.
And the defensive aspect of the game has always been there. Coach Craig Stanger's done a tremendous job throughout his coaching career here at BYU Hawaii, establishing that defensive end for the Seasiders. But like you said, the offense is not working. Obviously, Safiya, other teams have made the adjustments knowing that the offense is going to flow through her, and then the other players haven't really been able to get the ball into the hoop. Defensively, doing a tremendous job for them to come away with a couple victories here and jump into the top 6 teams. Obviously, offense is going to have to be one of the main things that they focus on. So let's go into the road trip. Last week we talked about that these next 4 games on the road were going to be essential for the Seasiders. They really needed to focus and get a couple wins, start stacking wins as we move to the second half of the season. Now they're 0-1 so far because they dropped that game against HPU last week. Tonight they play Dixie. The next game is going to be probably the hardest game that they'll play. You're going to play the number 7 team in the nation, Cal Baptist, who is undefeated in Pac-West Conference play. And then to wrap it up, they're going to play Concordia. 3 huge games coming up for the Seasiders. What do they need to do to come away with some victories?
Well, I was able to go to that HPU game last Thursday, a week ago today, and they hung with them for most of the game. And it was just in the last maybe 8 minutes of the game is where HPU really extended that lead, and that's where we couldn't score. Our scoring, we were in that slump. And so it's going to take, I guess there's no fourth quarter in women's basketball, but second half, you have to continue through the entire game, keep up the intensity, and keep scoring.
And then you have to get Safiya and Mayan Shaikh going from the outside and then work inside out with Terrence Cahill and Kristen Baldwin to get that offense really flowing. Now let's break down the Pac-West Conference so far. Now Pac-West is probably one of the most competitive conferences for women's basketball. At the top, you've got Cal Baptist, who's the number 7 team in the nation. They are currently 13-0. Following them is HPU, who their only loss has come to Cal Baptist. They're 10-1. Third place is Point Loma, 11-2. You got Azusa Pacific right behind them at 9-4. Academy of Art and Notre Dame de Namur in that 5 and 6 spot. You got BYU Hawaii at 9, but then again, Concordia is not eligible to compete in the Pac-West Conference Championship. So technically, they're at 8. 2 spots behind. Do you think the Seasiders are going to be able to jump Notre Dame de Namur and get into that 6th spot?
Well, the hard thing about this tournament is you're on the outside looking in right now.
Mm-hmm.
The thing you have to do, you have to win the games that you're supposed to win, like against Dixie, Concordia, and then Fresno Pacific. Those are games you have to win, but you also have to win games that you're technically not supposed to win according to like the stats and rankings.
Yeah, and you're going to have to get some help as well. Some teams are going to have to start dropping games, and we'll start have to stacking wins. Okay, moving on to spring sports. It's finally upon us. Ironically, winter sports hasn't even ended yet, but the golf team is currently participating in a tri-match tournament over in Turtle Bay. They're going against Chaminade and HPU. Just to give a quick recap of 2016 for the men's golf team, it was the greatest year in golf here at BYU Hawaii of all time. It was full of a whole bunch of accomplishments. For example, Brent Grant became the first golfer at BYU Hawaii to win the Pac-West Golfer of the Year. Head coach Bob Owen was the first coach in the history to win that award for the Coach of the Year in the Pac-West Conference. And then the Seasiders went on to finish 12th in the nation, going to the NCAA tournament, something that had never been done before. As we move into this season, however, a few changes. Brent Grant, who won the Golfer of the Year, has now turned pro, so he's not on the team, but the rest of the players have come back and actually play intramurals with some of them, and they're very excited. And we'll actually go to Turtle Bay tomorrow and get some in-depth action with the golf team and see what they're up to. Moving on to tennis. Now, tennis is the best program in BYU Hawaii athletics history. They've got so many championships, so many records, and not only they have the greatest coach in NCAA history, head coach Dave Porter, who has the most wins of any coach in any college sport with over 1,200 wins. So, we don't have to talk a lot about tennis, but just to recap some of the things that happened last year, they were the national runner-up. They finished second in the tournament. They only lost to Armstrong State. They're returning Dallas Zhang, who was the Pac-West Female Athlete of the Year. She's coming back for her senior season, so expect great things from her. We're also still waiting for Summer to see if she will be eligible this year. She is one of our best players as well. If she comes back, expect the Seasiders to make another run at the national championship. Armstrong State, the team that they lost to, lost all their key players, so it's going to be a very exciting year for our Seasiders and the tennis team. Before we go to commercial, however, the two very attractive guys on the TV screen and the two attractive guys right here, we're actually on course to go head-to-head. Jake, talk to us about that.
Well, we're both on intramural teams. I've actually been playing the whole season. Mick kind of just got picked up.
I got signed to a 10-day contract.
Yeah, so both our teams are still in the playoffs. I haven't seen the bracket just yet, so if we keep winning, we're bound to see each other either in championship or in the next couple rounds in the playoffs.
And I can guarantee a win. We'll take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll continue with our men's basketball, and then we got a special edition for the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday.
McMillan from half court breaks the defense. McMillan, 3 seconds left, jumps to the free throw line. What is he doing?
Cleary gets the ball at the elbow. The game is on the line for the Seaside. He takes a series of moves. He jabs. He puts it up. Has the buzzer, and he blows it.
All right, everybody, get off your Instagram, log out of Netflix, tune in to Buzzer Beater. And that's how you beat the buzzer. All right, first of all, President, thanks so much for taking time out of your extremely busy schedule to sit down with us. I think I speak for all the students when we say we're very grateful for everything that you and Sister Tanner do for us. Talking to a lot of the athletes, they voiced a lot of their gratitude for you and Sister Tanner coming out and supporting all of our teams here at BYU Hawaii. How much have you enjoyed seeing our Seasiders in action, and why is it so important for you and Sister Tanner to come out to these games?
Well, both. We enjoy it. That's one thing. We really do like doing it. It's not a, we're not doing it just out of duty, but we also feel a commitment to do it to support our students. But we really enjoy watching the teams play and watching our students compete, and it's fun. Beyond that, I really do like to support our students. I try to go to concerts and plays, and I try to go to our athletic events. I like to go and be where the students are.
Last season in the Pac-West Conference, they have this award for the academics of each team in the Pac-West Conference, and BYU Hawaii set a new Pac-West Conference record with a 3.44 cumulative GPA by all of our student athletes. You are the president of this university. I can only imagine how pleased you were with that. But what did it mean to you to see your student athletes not only perform in their respective sports, but most importantly in the classroom?
What I really like about that award is it emphasizes that they really are student athletes, and they're in that order. They're students first and they're athletes second. This is about having our students perform in athletics as students. And one of the things I've liked about being at this level of NC2A in the two division is that there is an emphasis on education, on academics. So I'm very proud of our students for having set that record in our division and for that accomplishment, because that's an aggregate number. That means it's an average for all of the athletes, and it means that there are a lot of athletes who are getting even higher GPAs than that, and that's hard to do as an athlete when you've got a travel schedule, you've got workout schedules and practice and so forth, and I'm just as proud as can be of these kids, just like as if they were my own kids. Because what will happen after they leave here is they will be using their education. That's going to be the long-term value, and the athletics will be a wonderful memory. It'll be a wonderful thing that they will have done, but their education that they get from their classes and their degrees will have the longest value and the longest lasting value for them.
I'm Fukuta.
Again, we'd like to thank President Tanner for sitting down and talking with us. It was a very interesting conversation, him talking to us about the athletic program. Fortunately, this is the last year of athletics, but the Seasiders are trying to chase some championships, trying to cement some legacies, but it's been a rough year for the Seasiders. Obviously, Jake, your brother D is on the team, so obviously you have a bigger perspective than I do. You live with not only D, but you live with Tanner Nelson and Juhan Lee. It's been rough. 5-13, 3-9 in conference play. They're currently in 12th place. You know, for them to, if they even win out all the rest of their games, it's still, I don't know if it would be enough for them to get into the top 6. It's hard to talk about. But, you know, from their perspective, you know, this is the last year that there's ever going to be men's basketball at BYU Hawaii. Obviously, there's a motivating factor not only to perform, but also talking to Tanner, talking to D, talking to a few other players. They have nowhere to go next year. So they are playing to get a spot on a team that could be HPU or Chaminade. Talk to us a little bit about that motivating factor for not only your brother, but the other players to play well so they can play on other teams.
Yeah, in a season like this going so far, you have to look at the positives. And one positive is Tanner Nelson, how he is the first Seasider in recent years to average, or not to average, but to have multiple 30-plus point games. And then Gabriel Andrade in the last game against HPU, he had a career-high 18 points. So again, here and there, you just got to pull out the positives and keep going and hope for the best.
Yeah. Well, I know it's been extremely frustrating for them, but, you know, it's good to see like a player like Gabe Andrade start to come into his own, especially as we have only a few more games left. But the Seasiders are on the road as well. They will play Dixie State tonight after the women's game over in Dixie. Now, they're the Trailblazers. They used to be the Red Storm. They just changed their name. So the Trailblazers, they're no team to be pushed around. They are currently number 3 in the Pac-West Conference at 11-2. What do the Seasiders have to do to come away with the victory tonight?
You got to score more points than the other team. It's just going to come down as simple as that. You got to kind of hope the team the next 3 games, the next 3 yard games are against really good teams.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have to play extremely well and hope that the other team does not play that well. But against Dixie State, a lot of players on this team are from Utah like D, and so it's going to be a fun game to play against, play out of place with some familiar faces. So just go have fun and try your best to win.
Yeah, like you said, after Dixie State, they will play the number 4 team in the nation, Cal Baptist. It's a rough road for the Seasiders, but they definitely are motivated to start stacking some wins, especially against Dixie, who is a rival. All right, let's get into the Seasider MVP. Every single team that we have here at BYU Hawaii is afforded an opportunity to choose an MVP. At number 1, I think we both can agree on. Tanner Nelson, like you said, multiple 30-point games this season, has been the main consistent player who has come in and competed at every single game he's played in. After that, I got Shad Watson, who's stepped into a role that I don't know he knew was going to happen to him, especially with all the injuries that happened in the preseason. He's been impressive. Caleb Roney's been impressive. Who would you choose as your MVP?
I would, like we said, Tanner, but Denham Brook, I don't know if he would be MVP quality, but he definitely has the most highlights of the year out of any player, as he has had some pretty sick dunks so far this season.
He has. So we'll take another commercial break, but when we come back, it's just Super Bowl 51, Patriots Falcons this Sunday.
I'm Fukutaro Sagayama. Please call me Fuku, which means happiness in Japanese. I have a dream. One day, I'd like to create people who have correct outlook of national history and politics. I'd like to make reform on Japanese politics in terms of education and international relations, especially with neighboring countries. When I was looking for university, I came to realize that how biased I was in terms of the understanding of national history and politics. To get rid of the bias, I decided to study abroad, and I chose BYU Hawaii because I can exercise ethical practice daily through learning more about gospel principle. I choose BYU Hawaii to make my dream come true.
Who do you think's going to win Super Bowl 51?
I don't know.
You're not going to watch a Super Bowl.
No.
Do you even know what the Super Bowl is?
It's like some kind of pottery competition.
Do you know who Atlanta's mascot is?
Nope. A bird?
Yes, but what kind of bird? I mean, you're getting hints from guys behind the camera.
Raven?
So Nona, how do you feel about LeBron James' performance in the Super Bowl?
I have no idea. I'm busy with studying, yeah.
Oh.
Are you guys excited for the Super Bowl?
Yes.
What are you most looking forward to this Super Bowl weekend?
Well, I'm looking for who is gonna sing.
And who would you like to see sing?
Bruno Mars.
And you?
I don't know anything, but sounds so excited.
If I invite you to a Super Bowl party, will you come?
Yeah, of course.
Hadley?
Yeah.
It is Super Bowl week. What did you think about the Super Bowl?
Well, it hasn't happened yet.
Are you sure?
Yes, because it's on my birthday, which is on Sunday.
All right, what do you feel about Roger Federer's performance in the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah, he did really well, and the pass was really good. Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Beyonce or Taylor Swift?
Oh, free Beyonce!
Drop the mic on that one.
Just kidding. No, this is
What do you think about the Super Bowl?
nachos. I don't.
You think nachos about the Super Bowl? Okay. Well,
What's the Super Bowl? I don't really like football.
All right, Ninoy, who's going to win the Super Bowl, the Dolphins or the Trailblazers?
Dolphins.
Why the Dolphins?
I don't know, it just sounds good. I mean, Dolphins is always good. That's it.
That's correct.
Rachel, how do you feel about the Super Bowl? Who's going to win?
I don't even know who's in the Super Bowl.
It's the Dolphins and the Trailblazers.
Oh, dolphins, because that's my favorite animal.
all right. I'm here with the president, so I'm a little bit nervous. So, President, Super Bowl Sunday is coming up.
Oh,
Who do you got? Patriots or Falcons?
Patriots all the way, baby. Let's go.
If you could become one quarterback in the Super Bowl, which one would you be? Tom Brady or Matt Ryan?
Tom Brady, dude, he's a man. He's just a stud, and I don't know, he's just a good guy all the way around. Good quarterback, good guy, good dad.
You chose Tom Brady because you know who his wife is, don't you? Get out of here.
All right, who's going to win the Super Bowl, the Penguins or the Rockies?
I think the Rockies.
The Rockies.
Yeah.
Why the Rockies?
I don't know, I just guessed.
Yes. Good guess.
Thank you.
So what are your thoughts about the Super Bowl? Very impressed with the way the Blazers beat the Dolphins?
So impressed. They worked their little butts off to do it.
Ironically, the Super Bowl is this Sunday, so you just lied in front of the camera. Good job, liar.
And you wonder why we're getting rid of athletics.
I think after that video, no one's wondering why we're getting rid of athletics. But anyways, Super Bowl 51 this Sunday. Fortunately, two guys know about this on campus, Jake and I. Patriots Falcons, 7th Super Bowl for Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. 1st Super Bowl for Matt Ryan. A lot of huge storylines coming out of this Super Bowl right now. Atlanta, 2nd best offense in the NFL. New England, the 4th best offense. And I think one of the most surprising things is the Patriots have the #1 defense in the NFL. What are you looking forward to other than the commercials and other than Lady Gaga performing at halftime?
Yeah. All right. Well, I saw something today that's pretty interesting. Bill Belichick has obviously been to a lot of Super Bowls, but this Falcons offense is the highest rating offense that Bill Belichick has yet to face in a Super Bowl. So it will be a clash of the best offense, best defense, and so it's just gonna come down. I think it's gonna come down to the 4th quarter, and I think that's what everybody's hoping for.
All the debate shows, ESPN, Fox, they're always talking about the huge storylines, and I think the main storyline that I'm taking away from this Super Bowl is the redemption year of Tom Brady. We all know about Deflategate and what that really entailed and all the drama that came after that. I think Tom Brady's on a mission this year. I think it'd be nothing better for Roger Goodell to hand that trophy over to Robert Kraft and Tom Brady. But also at the same time, Matt Ryan and Tom Brady are really good friends. And later, Jake and I will debate this, but I really want to see who can come away with the victory, the master or the teacher. We'll see what happens, but Brady's been to 7 Super Bowls, so it's kind of hard to go against him. Matchups are always a huge thing in sports. You've got LeBron and you've got Kobe. You've got Steph Curry, LeBron. You always like to see 2 players go at each other. And the Super Bowl, it's going to be 2 players who are at the top and in their primes of their career. You got Malcolm Butler, who made probably the greatest play in Super Bowl history when the Seahawks made the stupidest call in Super Bowl history, not giving it over to beast mode. They decided to throw a pass at the half-yard line, and Malcolm Butler came away with the interception. And then the other side, you've got Julio Jones, who many are saying is the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to go. I've said this before in past episodes. I'm going with Julio Jones. And not only because he won me the championship in my fantasy league this year, but because he is one of the best wide receivers, not in the league right now, but probably to ever play.
Yeah, Julio Jones, extremely talented. I think it'll be interesting because Bill Belichick, one of the things that he does, and they did this against Antonio Brown, who's considered one of the best wide receivers, is they take away your best player. And that's a great segue into the next topic that we're talking about, X factors. Whether it's the NBA Finals Game 7 or the Super Bowl, there's always that one player who ends up playing big and helps his team win. In Game 7 of the NBA Finals, it was Draymond Green who almost won it for the Warriors. For the Cavs, it was a plethora of different players who played up big. Now, in big games, you're always looking at the stars, but there's always X factors. What X factor do you have for the Super Bowl?
I'm going with LeGarrette Blount. It's kind of been a Cinderella story for him. He's had a rough career. Played at Oregon. He was suspended there. This season, he was cut from the Steelers, and yet now he's one of the best running backs in the league, and he's helped the Patriots get to this point, get to the Super Bowl. So I think he's going to be the X factor, and he's just going to continue his Cinderella story and get a ring.
For me, it's Vic Beasley, who is going to put a lot of pressure on Tom Brady. If they can put pressure on Brady and force him into a couple of turnovers, that will be the X factor and main thing for the Falcons to come away with the victory. We'll take one more commercial break, but when we come back, it's debate time as Jake and I go head-to-head in a series of 5 debates.
That was an outstanding win for the Seasiders for a couple of reasons. One is they played well in the second half. They got the win. They're in the tournament.
BYU Hawaii, #1 seed all the way, wins the regional title of the NCAA West.
Great win for us. It was a nice win. We held our composure, and I guess we closed out. It's tough to close out in the championship, but we did it.
It's still surreal to me.
It's hard to imagine that Coach Wagner, when he called that timeout with 13 seconds left on the shot clock, was setting up a play for a 40-foot jump shot with 1 second left on the clock, but Pablo hit it.
So long for beautiful Laie, Hawaii.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Buzzer Beater. As you suggested for our segment of the show, Jake and I are going to go head-to-head in a series of debates yet again. If you missed last week, you know that it ended in an unfortunate tie. We did not think ahead. Unfortunately, there were only 4 debates this year. This week, actually, we added another one. So there's going to be 5 debates. Someone is going to come away with the victory. Like an intramural basketball, it'll be yours truly. Jolie, take it away.
All right, our first debate, it'll be who performs better, Brady or Ryan? We'll start with Jake.
Oh, thank you. I get time to talk. Tom Brady, I said it last week, I'll say it again. Experience always comes away with the victory. 7 Super Bowls. Matt Ryan has never been to this stage. He's never played on a stage like the Super Bowl. Tom Brady's been here, done that, been here, done that, been here, done that. Won it 4 times already. Going for his 5th ring, he knows what the stakes are. He knows how to play under this stage, and that's why I'm going with Tom Brady.
All right.
First of all, Jolie, like again, you look amazing.
Oh,
like always. All right, let's get right into it. Obviously, Jake, I agree with you. Experience. But Matt Ryan is currently piloting the best offense in the NFL. He has Julio Jones, his main target, and then they have the two-headed monster in the backfield. I think this offense that the Falcons have not necessarily will win the game. The debate is who's going to perform better. I think Matt Ryan, with all the weapons that he has, I think that it's going to allow him to perform at a very high level. I think statistically he will play better than Tom Brady, but I think the Patriots are going to win.
All right, I think we'll give that one to Jake. So the next one is Brady or Montana, and Mick can start.
Okay, lots of people are talking about this in the world of debates, in the world of sports. Tom Brady is going to his 7th Super Bowl, which is amazing. But Joe Montana is 4-0 in the Super Bowl, unblemished. He's perfect. He has never thrown an interception in the Super Bowl. He piloted one of the greatest offenses of all time, the Jerry Rice-Joe Montana connection. No one's been better. I think Joe Montana the greatest of all time.
All right, your turn.
All right, so I want to take a little comparison. Look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan arguably had the best dunk of all time when he jumped from the free throw line. Okay? That was one of the best dunks of all time. But look, now people have done so much better than that. That's how Joe Montana was. He set the standard first. He was the first great quarterback, but now Tom Brady is better and is going for his 5th ring, has more Super Bowl appearances than Joe Montana. And that's why right now, Tom Brady is better than Joe Montana.
I think Mick takes the win on that one, but we'll start with another debate. Pats D or Falcons O? We'll start with Jake.
All right, well, we talked about this earlier in the show. Falcons they have the best offense in the NFL, and you got my boy Julio Jones. I want to give a shout out to because I know he's watching. Won me my fantasy league in that championship game. So Patriots they've struggled throughout the years on defense, but Falcons offense, you even said it yourself, they're driving one of the best offenses in the game right now, and they're going to conquer that Patriot D.
And the Super Bowl, I think it always comes down to who has the most experience. That's why I've chosen the Patriots to win, and that's why I'll go with the Patriots D. I think the Falcons offense is going to put up a lot of big numbers, but when it comes down to crunch time, I think the experience is going to trump the young Falcons. I think Bill Belichick, one of the greatest defensive minds in NFL history, will help the Patriots come away with a defensive plan to take out Julio Jones and take down the Falcons. I'm going to go with the Falcons defense on this one.
Now I'm going to go with Mick for that debate. But the next one is LeBron or Barkley, and Mick can start with this one.
Okay, so I'm going to have to agree with the comments of Charles Barkley. Now, LeBron went extremely personal with his comments about Charles Barkley, but Charles Barkley is what Jake and I are. We analysts, sports broadcasters, we make critiques on the way that people perform. I don't think Charles Barkley's comments went over the edge. I think he made, a analyzation as an analyst, and he said what he needed to be said. I don't think anything was personal. Go with Charles Barkley.
I think I sense a little jealousy in Charles Barkley when he's talking about LeBron James.
Kind of like how
LeBron
Jake
James
is jealous of.
has done things that Charles Barkley has never done. LeBron James is defending his legacy. He'll go down. He already is go down as one of the best players in NBA history. He's got to defend that legacy. When someone as great as Charles Barkley says something like that, he has to answer back. If he does it, it'll make him look weak. And so I am fully behind LeBron James and supporting his comments against Charles Barkley.
I think Jake takes the win of that one. And we move on to the last debate. Who has the better dynasty, Spurs or Patriots? Jake, take it away.
All right, I'm going to go with the Patriots. We can't say it enough. 7 Super Bowls. You can't beat that. You can't. Yeah, they didn't win all of them, like you said. Well, they've been to more than 7 Super Bowls, but then already winning 4 with just one quarterback, they'll go down. They'll be that team that everybody talks about. Tom Brady's going to be the quarterback that everybody talks about. That dynasty, the Patriots, everyone knows. No, not everybody knows about the history of the Spurs.
There you go.
All right, let's make it clear. Jake's argument is that one person makes a dynasty on. That's not true. Spurs, they have a plethora of players who came into that team, into that franchise, who made that dynasty great. Jake said they've been to 7 Super Bowls. Well, the Spurs have won 5 NBA titles compared to the Patriots 4. So I'm going to have to go with the Spurs as the greatest dynasty of all time. Well, maybe not the greatest dynasty of all time, but definitely better than the Patriots, who only have 4 championship wins in comparison to the 5 of the
one
Spurs.
quarterback.
This was tough, honestly, but I think that last one is going to go to Jake. I think that makes you the winner
Yes, it does.
overall.
Hey, good game, buddy.
Well, actually, no, I got a little surprise. Okay, Jake may be the winner, but I want to take you back to a few months ago. Jake and I were going on a little bit of adventure. Let's go to the video of Jake McCleary catching a pass from yours truly.
saw the PI.
And after that video,
That
who's the real winner? I think
Okay.
Iowa.
Okay,
That pass
okay.
amazing. It was like
The ball
50
was
yards
wet.
away,
The
and
ball
he
was
can't
wet.
catch the
Okay,
pass.
Listen, the ball was wet, and okay, since then I should have caught it. Okay, that was my bad. I should have caught it. Since then, I've been working out. I've hit the weight room, been catching more passes, and I've had my redemption. Last week we were able to go back to the exact same location to get my redemption, and we have that video. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Not this one. Not this one. What? Not this one.
Yeah.
It's not this video. It's not this video.
Good. Good. Okay.
It's the same.
Oh!
Okay, well,
Wow,
that's not
Jake,
the video.
well,
That's
I
not the
must
video.
say, that was an impressive catch after all that work and lifting weights. I can see where, you were just
That's the
such a
same
great
exact
receiver.
That's
video.
why he has to win in these debates because he.
That's the
yeah,
same
we can't
video.
really do that
We'll
then.
show it next week. Something got messed up. That
I
wasn't
agree,
the
I agree
video
with
that was
Jolie. I
supposed to
think
show.
that we had let you win this debate because
Just
you
'cause
are
we know
Butterfingers
your kind of
and
background out there, but
oh, I'm so grateful
I'll
that you're not
show
playing
another
in the
video
Super
next
Bowl.
week of someone else trying to cast.
Okay. Well, that wraps up our show for today. Thanks for tuning in to Buzzer Beater. Again, we go live every Thursday at 2:30. Your Seasiders are in action tonight. They're going to be going against the Dixie State Trailblazers. That game will be on the BYU Hawaii Sports Network. For Jake and Jolie, I'm Mick Miller. Thanks for tuning in to Buzzer Beater, and we'll see you next Thursday.